This keyboard only has 44 keys, and I know what you're thinking. Where's the number row or even the escape key? Well, don't worry, they do exist on this pocket-sized keyboard. This is a gasket-mounted keyboard with a wireless or wired tri-mode connectivity, powered by a 3000 mAh battery pack. As expected, this has an all-key anti-ghosting feature and a 1000Hz polling rate. This also has a split spacebar, and housed inside is its lubed switches. More on this later. This features a south-facing universal hot swap PCB, and we'll take a closer look at that in the teardown segment of this video. And if you're wondering, this is VIA compatible, so you don't have to download any other sketchy software but just VIA. If you're also wondering, VIA is complete with key binding, RGB customization, and macro recording as well. Now, box content is pretty straightforward with a manual, cable, keycap switch puller, and 3 extra flamingo switches. The cable is braided and durable, so I'm gonna keep this. Next, strap on this thing is removable with just unscrewing these. The strap has slight gloss to it, and I'm just not sure what fabric was used here. Plastic material here doesn't feel cheap. Not like those that you know would crack if they fall. Plus, the top case is thick, so all good here. Underneath, you get the single-level kick-up feet along with rubber pads. Overall, I think the build here is pretty solid, and I don't think anyone would have any issues with this. Keycaps are a mix of dice sub and double-shot PBT in cherry profile. Modability here would be a bit limited due to the sizes of the B keys, so just be sure that the keycap sets you're purchasing fits a 40% layout. Stabs are pre-lubed, yet I would add a bit more. They wobble a very slight bit, but good enough for me. Switches are flamingo pre-lubed switches by Epomaker. They also would benefit from a bit more lube as I still feel some slight scratches to them. They have a light 35-gram initial force, then a 60-gram bottom-out force thanks to its 2-level spray. One look and you'd immediately notice the strap, kinda like Thor's hammer. You get this in 2 colorways, the black and yellow, and the white-purple mix. The case isn't textured, just the regular very mild glossy ABS plastic coat. As usual, Epomaker doesn't put branding on top of their units, so all good here. RGB on this thing is okay, yet if portability is your goal, I suggest keeping it off to save more battery. And in case you're wondering, this has multiple RGB effects similar to other RGB keyboards with more than 10 modes. Tearing this down is pretty standard, nothing surprising. There are 4 clips on top, 1 on each side, and 4 at the bottom. Looking under the PC plate, you get sandwich foam, IXP switch pad, and a PET anti-static film. Then, stuck under the PCB, you get more porn foam to dampen the bottom case. The PC plate here isn't flex cut, and so is the PCB. The PCB has screw-in stab ports though, so all good here. For a complete teardown, by the way, you're gonna have to remove these screws to detach the PCB from the positioning plate. If you have any questions, just comment down below as I might have forgotten to add some information to this review. Now check out my other review for Epomaker's MS68. That's a 68 key aluminum keyboard that I think you might like.